arena, the spectrum.
Here we go. What is up, YouTube's second day on the live? I'm absolutely excited to be here. We got a lot to break down today. We have a massive interview coming out with Robert F. Kennedy, presidential candidate that is very pro Bitcoin. We'll be covering. We have an former Blackrock employee speaking out in regards to what his beliefs are on a spot ETF actually getting approved for Blackrock itself from the SEC, and he believes he has some insight perspective on that. Then we have some tons of updates on just the crypto market in general, guys. Let me go ahead and move this over to our scene. But we are looking at $27,000, $738 Bitcoin today. It is back up, which is quite interesting because, you know, Bitcoin's been following commodities quite a bit. And with the US dollar, the dollar is down. So the dollar is coming down today. Stocks are going up. Bitcoin's following it. Gold, though, like yesterday's stream, like I told you guys, it is moving towards this 200 weekly EMA. It's almost in free fall at this category. So we are waiting for that to hit that oversold territory. But Bitcoin jumping off that 200-week EMA, it is now above. It bounced off the 20-week EMA, and it's now about to be above the 100-week right here. On the daily, you could see that it turned that 100-week into support. It looks like it's bouncing off that, so we definitely want to close above here. But, you know, obviously, we're seeing some bullish action come in here from the volume on the markets today. And then again on signals, yesterday I showed you guys this in chat on YouTube. You know, we were looking at this naked point of control. We were looking at how this was formed a few days back. It's also a weekly NPOC, but this is showing some significant support. So we are getting a short squeeze right here to the upside, and I do need to pull up the liquidations chart for you guys, which can be found. This guy is the GOAT. K1M6A on YouTube. He constantly live streams this chart for you guys if this is something you're interested in checking out. But the liquidation models are very important. So while that loads real quick, we have Ethereum at $1,648. We have XRP up to 53 cents. They did get that clarity on the lawsuit. You know, we didn't see massive movement or anything like that, but it did move about 6%, 7% in just the last few days. And we'll be getting to the major announcements that they have later in this video. But looking at the liquidations here, I want to show you guys this because this is super important to watch. Notice how as we approach 28K, there is massive liquidation zones now opening up below us at about 27,100, 26,800, and 26,000, but it is starting to fade away. So just remember that as we do move up, we are showing signs that we're getting a little bit of more support. We are starting to see orders open up above us that could cause for this squeeze to continue higher. But right now, that first level we really need to break and show to, you know, to find support around is going to be that 28K level. So, you know, right here, you can see the naked point of control at $28,000. We will probably hit this and see a little bit of resistance. And again, if you guys are coming from any other streams, guys, we're live on YouTube. Come over to the YouTube, guys. This is our second day live here. I appreciate you guys for smashing that like button, the subscribe button. We've had tons of subscriptions just the last few days, so thank you guys so much for the support. I'm excited to be doing this Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, especially as we watch the market just pump in front of us. This is like my favorite thing to do, so really cool to watch. But guys, come over to the YouTube channel if you guys haven't already. The link's in the bio, and come say hi. What's up to the chat? Come be involved, guys. So, you know, again, we're kind of getting this massive spike while we're live. I don't know if it's because it's me. I guess when Joshua Jake goes live, markets get insanely bullish. So you're welcome, guys, for that. But we're probably going to watch this in real time, test this 28,000 resistance level. And again, we're going to be, that is going to be the primary focus, right? If we break through this, we did touch 28,600 a few days ago. And past that, we'd be moving up to the 29K zone. So, you know, still plenty of room on the daily to even run up on the RSI. We're not completely oversold yet. Our best, you know, what we're going to really want to pay attention to. And by the way, check this out, guys. Check out these EMA levels, right? The last time we saw these EMA levels where the 20-week crosses that 100-week, was in June of 2023. And you can see you get massive upside action. So from the bottom to the top, I mean, Bitcoin did a 23% gain alone back in June of 2023. The last time before that was all the way in January of 2023. You could see that the 20-week EMA came, it crossed over that 100-week. And again, massive explosive growth. And we had the little short fake out here from Silicon Valley. But it's the same thing vice versa. So when it crashes through, you get some massive downside. That was my Patrick sound right there from SpongeBob. But yeah, this is a huge point, guys. So if we do see that breakthrough, this is why you're getting some bullish analysts coming out. Again, the bulls are coming out. People that were saying, screaming for $10,000. Man, sayonara. I'm sorry, 10K Bitcoin just does not look like it's going to take place. What's up, Truth Seek? How you doing, man? Guys, thank you for coming over to the YouTube chat. Thank you for the subscriptions coming through, guys. Much love to you guys. TikTok, cruise over, links in the bio for you guys. Come look at the screen and everything we're discussing here today. But yeah, so sorry bulls, or sorry bears, man. Sorry bears. So what the first one I want to cover here today is, let me find the Bitcoin analysis here. So of course, guys, crypto panic, you'll know that the market is bullish when crypto panic has an influx of news. And I'm telling you guys, this is like almost a great indicator. People should really use crypto panic as an indicator for if markets are bullish or bearish. When we're in a bear market, there's like 4 articles a day that have been like interacted with on crypto panic. But on a bullish day, you get like 15 articles, 20 articles, and a bull market is going to be literally 100. But you know, so this is something I like to see, is when the bulls come out, you have also the news reporters and the analysts all covering every story, right? That's just kind of that goes hand in hand. And so one of the stories that came out today was Bitcoin 2023 to 2027 outlook. Bull run possible shortly before the halving. So of course you got the over bulls, is what I like to say. Overly optimistic individuals and analysts, but let's see what they have to say. So although Bitcoin is back in largely widely trading mode, or in a largely sideways trading mode, much like the majority of assets in other cryptocurrency market, its future carries the potential for massive gains, and particularly considering the upcoming halving event in 2024. Specifically, pseudonymous cryptocurrency analyst Stock Money Lizards predicts that we will likely see a start of the bull run slightly before the halving, according to the detailed analysis of the flagship decentralized finance assets charts pattern shared in an X post on October 4th. So this can be found on Twitter. So this pattern right here, A, B, C, D. I also, the A, B, I don't even know what this one is. I haven't actually seen this trading pattern yet. But you know, we're looking at, you can zoom in on this box right here. Whether we or not we get that sideways action, we are about to break out of this trend line. And they're projecting that we could be bouncing off that MACD as well, and going to be seeing some significant gains to the upside. Now, they also go on to continue, and this is where I wanted to read this quote for you guys. Countries, big institutions, and broad masses of retail investors slowly seem to understand that fiat is doomed and Bitcoin is inflation-proof. Despite all the noise, inflation, interest rates, what happens to the S&P 500, etc., this will ultimately drive the prices higher. More and more people, guys, are becoming bullish on Bitcoin. Whether it's institutions, it's asset managers like Blackrock, which we're going to get to in just a second, in their ETF and what that outlook looks like. But, you know, with the whole changes in the energy industry, which we're also going to watch a clip from RFK right here. I'll be hitting play on this in about 5 minutes, and you guys want to see that. But with the whole play on, like, being able to access negative energy and be able to increase profit margins, not only on a state level, federal level, but from a corporation level, it also benefits surrounding communities. It's generating jobs. It's mitigating carbon emissions. It's actually good for the environment. Now, obviously, I think the argument here, it doesn't matter if you're left or right, guys, the majority of the climate change that exists today actually comes from pesticides. And that's going to be like Monsanto and like ruining our soil, which obviously we need a whole other video for, and that's not for this live stream. But in this case, with the whole ESG narrative and the carbon credits that the far left likes to push, these corporations like to take advantage of carbon credits. It's kind of like the NFT marketplace for the ultra rich, for the people that you're never going to be able to see or be in a room with. Those billionaires, yeah, they're the ones that are accessing this carbon credit market because they get free subsidies from the government, they get free write-offs, and it allows them to produce more hydrocarbons at a pace faster than ever. That is what they use these credits for. And the problem with that is the majority of these credits, 50 to 70% of them, like, and this is proof, there's proof to this, don't even work. They have no impact on the environment, and they don't even know if they'll have an impact on the environment for 10 years. And so Bitcoin's coming in as a solution and has been trading. And this is why I did that commodities video, guys, on Cryptos R Us. Links in the description. Go watch the commodities based video. But that's why you want to follow what's taking place to gold and oil and copper and wheat and corn, right? Because Gary Gensler and all of these representatives, they have stated that Bitcoin is a commodity and it trades as one, and it does. Now, it is breaking away today here against that dollar. The dollar is losing value and Bitcoin's still going up. And this is where that bullish analyst is kind of coming in and saying we might get that upwards movement and continue on. So even though I believe your commodities market is going to see a pullback probably till the end of the year, this generally happens when you get that Santa rally. You get a lot of consumer spending moving into November as a month, and you get a little bit of fuel back into that economy. I do want to say, I do believe that's still going to be a sucker's rally, and we'll see that, and we won't know for a fact until about January. But that is when I'll be looking to accumulate your commodities, and I think Bitcoin's going to continue to follow that trajectory. So it's interesting that it's not only following, Bitcoin when commodities are moving up, it's also following the dollar. And at this pace, guys, we're looking for, maybe the Feds to raise interest rates by another 25 basis points in November. They did say they're going to remain paused. So it really is going to come down to us watching the PCE reports, the CPI reports and everything, which I'll cover with you guys, of course, on this channel as we move into those months. So gold in free fall, guys. And the other thing that you want to watch here is going to be the euro. So the euro is in a free fall, so it's having a bit of a bullish action today. And I actually got to see what the reports that came out. There could have been something as well, but clearly on the RSI here on the daily, guys, it's oversold. And so it could come back up and test just a little bit of a bounce. So maybe like 106, 107 here. But when you look at the weekly, right? The weekly still not completely oversold on the RSI. It's been in a downtrend for 12 weeks. And this is coming as markets are anticipating a higher interest rate hike from the Feds at the next meeting. So again, it's going to come down to the CPI report, for the month of October. Now, going into our next topic here, we have U.S. debt climbs. But this is crazy. Holy smokes, chat, TikTok, come over to YouTube, guys. Much love to you guys. I'll talk about Nancy Pelosi and everybody, guys. What the heck? U.S. debts climb by over half of Bitcoin's market cap in a single day. Like, can this not, is this just not proof, guys, that fiat money, it's not dead, obviously, but there is massive corruption involved. I mean, it's the way we pay off our credit cards in the United States, the U.S. debts, they just make another credit card with more interest. Our interest rates alone, guys, are at almost, I think it's within a year to year and a half, we'll be paying between $1 to $1.25 trillion just in interest payments alone. That doesn't even factor over to our debt. That is freaking ridiculous. That is not sound money. The US dollar is going to lose value over time. Is the US dollar going to collapse, and is it going to be replaced by some Chinese yuan or the Russian, ruble or another currency, brick station? No, probably not. You definitely will see probably a war before that would actually take place. But this does go to show that, due to the economic hitman policies, which again, I really recommend you guys read this book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. Also, The Changing World Order. I got about a 50 on the shelf over here. But, China and the United States both use these economic hitman policies. And you got to zoom out from the propaganda that is spread through the West and through the East. You just got to zoom out and realize what's taking place. These countries in debt, other countries, other third world nations, or in second world nations, and even first world nations, into debt by giving them massive loans. Now, the problem with this is when you indebt another country to your currency, and they owe you maybe $1 billion of US dollars. When the United States, when the world runs on that economy, it's the majority of the global's GDP, them and China, when they do something to, print their money and, they inflate their currency, that means these other countries, guys, are going to have to print more of their own currencies in a high interest rate. So, let me make easier sense, because I'm starting to tangent here. When the US dollar raises interest rates and makes the US dollar go up in value, right? After printing trillions of dollars just to pay off their own debts, then we raise interest rates and make the dollar more expensive. It forces third world countries, these second world countries, and these other countries in debt to print more of their own money. So it's obviously not a good impact on them. And this is why you get hyperinflation in other countries that are already fragile, right? So this is where these strategies of this economic hitman policy take place. It's from the World Bank. It's from the New Development Bank through BRICS. They like to act as your best friend, come in a time of need, whether it's a natural disaster or a proxy war. They give you this loan on a silver platter, like, hey, we're going to take care of you. But 10 years down the line, that country is never able to pay back those debts, and they're forever indebted. And these countries, the Chinese, the United States, we both do it. They take advantage of those natural resources. This happened with the Panama Canal. This is happening right now in Chile, Argentina, and all over the world, right? So now I'm going off on a tangent, but that's one of my little Joshua Jake rants. So total U.S. debt, guys, adds $275 billion in one single day. If they could just print all of us, $1,000, that would be cool. Please airdrop it to our portfolio. Commodity experts warns a lingering crypto hangover. So this actually goes into what I was just talking about with Bitcoin following commodities. So I want to read you guys this article because this is kind of important here. But following his observations of a concerning trend in the crypto market, Bloomberg's senior commodity strategist has most recently predicted a lingering crypto hangover, which he believes will continue through the fourth quarter of 2023. Let me move this mic away from me. Specifically based on historical patterns, Mike McGlone has noted that Bitcoin may need to fail first as a prerequisite for Fed fund futures in 1 year to trough and indicate that liquidity is being turned back on, as he explained in his Twitter post today. So he's saying, key liquidity indicator remains negative, and he circles each, obviously, when we're in a negative, Bitcoin's weekly band, it's falling and it's correlated to the chart. So in other words, declining Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin declining, has proceeded with federal pivots. Despite the Fed likely not caring about the maiden cryptocurrency, but its 24/7 traded leading indicator status could be gaining traction, as McGlone specified. The bottom line for Bitcoin at the start of Q4 may be that liquidity remains negative with price implications. Coming of the age in a zero interest rate world, the crypto hangover could be enduring as global rates continue to rise despite recession signals. So this is a commodities expert that's saying that with the higher interest rates that it's going to follow this commodities and it's going to hurt the price and impact the price negatively until we do get that pivot, which obviously today that's completely disregarding. But earlier, the finance experts pointed out that cryptos were grappling with the specter of a recession and that the third quarter's weakness in the crypto space could either be a transient recovery blip or a more ominous sign of an impending recession. Meanwhile, obviously, guys, Bitcoin up 0.42% today, up over $27,700. We're watching it come up to that resistance level as we speak. The dollar is coming down just a little bit as the euro bounces. But, I kind of do agree with this. I don't necessarily believe that Bitcoin's going to be up only for the next few months. Today, obviously, it's following the dollar and it's following the stocks. So if we do have that relief rally, I am proceeding with cautious. I'm cautiously optimistic. That's what I always tell you guys here, right? We have a lot of things that need to take place in this economy before I do believe that we pivot over into that bull run narrative. First is going to be the spot Bitcoin ETF. So let's pull this up here today. So spot Bitcoin ETF. Let me go to profile because I tweeted this out today. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, guys, give me a follow. I retweet amazing things here. I share a lot of great information. But Justin, Blackrock ETF, and let me pull up the article. It's loading real quick. And TikTok, head over to the YouTube. Ex-Blackrock director says SEC will approve a Bitcoin ETF in 3 to 6 months. Now, my target's always been Q2 of 2024, purposely because of this. If I was an asset manager, I love playing game theory, right? I love analyzing markets and being like, okay, what's the best outcome for the asset managers? Because we are we're ones and zeros to banks, asset managers, in Apple, Google, any company. You and me are a 1 and a 0. And their goal is to make as many ones and zeros as possible, right? They want to make as much money as possible. So win would be if I can manipulate the market, I'm an asset manager, or I'm a financial institution and I'm launching a financial product. When would it be the best time to launch that product, right? They have entire teams and researchers and marketers that have been doing this for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, analyzing this stuff, right? So if you know that historically Bitcoin runs off a 4-year cycle and that the entire community around Bitcoin believes in the 4-year cycle, right? Why aren't you going to use the 4-year cycle to your advantage? And this is why I tell everybody to be very cautious with the 4-year cycle, because in this is the first time in Bitcoin's history where we're dealing with a high interest rate based economy, and you have all these financial asset managers and investment institutions that and institutional banks that came into this market. They've been for years saying Bitcoin is money laundering, Bitcoin is a scam, that fiat is the one and only. And this entire time, they've been manipulating it behind our backs. They've been investing into all of these companies. You have Blackrock investing into NCR and Blackhawk, to all of your top large Bitcoin miners. They're the largest shareholder for MicroStrategy, which is the largest Bitcoin holder. They're invested into Coinbase. They're invested into Circle, which is your largest US-based stablecoin supplier. They are managing and helping with the Federal Reserve with all of the private money and our policies on our debt, our mortgages, and everything. And so it's like, when you have that perspective, when's the best freaking time? The best time to launch it will be around the Bitcoin halving. Why? They're now going to have all of their financial advisors that in a high interest rate based economy where personal saving rates are low, mind you, when the feds are trying to curb inflation, they're trying to encourage saving. They're trying to bring down or raise unemployment. They want people to save. They want people to not spend. They want to bring down prices. And so in that type of economy, which is where the US is heading, when is the best time to launch a financial product? Well, it would be when a spot ETF, when you are encouraging everybody to save. So this is why I'm saying, like, if your 401ks, your retirements, etc., that is going to be the best time to launch this ETF. And if they don't launch the ETF around this time, you're just missing out on a golden opportunity. This is the next Jack Bogle index fund. This is 1975. This is our gold-based ETF that was launched in November of 2004. Right, so if that's the game theory, let's hear what this BlackRock SEC director has to say. So, former BlackRock managing director Stephen Schoenfield, who's now the CEO of Market Vector Indexes, gives the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission 3 to 6 months before it approves a Bitcoin spot ETF. Schoenfield gave his estimate during a panel discussion on ETFs at CC Data's Digital Asset Summit in London yesterday, where he was joined by another ex-BlackRock director, Martin Bednall, now CEO of Jacoby Asset Management. Schoenfield was responding to comments made earlier by Bednall that the SEC will probably approve all ETF applications at the same time. I don't think they want to give anybody the first mover advantage. We'll see if they really do that, or if iShares gets the first one. That'd be very funny. Previously, the Market Vector CEO said that he would have given the industry 9 to 12 months before an approval. But the SEC's recent decision to delay giving verdicts on several pending ETF applications is unlike previous delaying tactics by the regulator. Instead of completely rejecting the whole list, they've asked for comments, which is a marginal but significant improvement in the dialogue. There's also the Grayscale lawsuit, which the SEC lost. They also lost against Ripple and XRP, right? They lost against Ripple Labs, which means they're most likely going to have to allow the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust to be converted into an ETF. So if this is true, right, we now have 3 to 6 months before an ETF launches, chat. And again, thank you guys for all the subscriptions coming through, the likes, guys, smashing like buttons on the YouTube video. Much love to you guys. TikTok, head over. We're live on YouTube. If that's the case, right, that means we have 3 to 6 months before the floodgates open on this. This is why when people say, you know, time in the market always beats time in the market. The one thing I am confident on as a person in this that's been full-time in this industry, that's a full-time analyst and just journalist in Web3, this is why I want to be in Bitcoin and crypto before that ETF. That means we have 3 to 6 months to accumulate. Now, it could be 9 months. It could be 12 months, but we know that time is coming. Right now, every single day, guys, look at this. $275 billion in US debt was added in one day, right? Bitcoin is inevitable. It hasn't failed. It didn't fail in 2008. It didn't fail in 2009. It didn't fail in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way today. It's the most sound money that exists today. It is the world's greatest commodity. It's not only digital gold, it's digital oil. It can convert wasted energy. It can reduce carbon emissions. It can access a market that forever hasn't been able to be accessed. You're increasing GDPs. You're encouraging economic growth. You're establishing jobs. A third world country can take out DeFi against their Bitcoin that they mine. Any country can mine this. They can access this network. Then they can access DeFi. They don't have to become indebted to the World Bank or the New Development Bank. The possibilities that will grow from this over the next decade are immense and beautiful. And It's something that I think everybody should pay attention to. So, by the way, guys, if you're still here watching through this, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to show you guys a crypto that I have added to my watch list that I think everybody should be paying attention to, especially with the Bitcoin spot ETF narrative. Because if money's flooding into Bitcoin, you're going to want to pay attention to that ecosystem. So, massive news today, guys. Chase Bank, one of the largest manipulators in the world, screw JP Morgan. JP Morgan sucks. Jamie Dimon's a liar. Look at this, guys. FCF Pay, blockchain payment system. Chase Bank customers. Now you can pay your mortgage, credit cards, loans, all with your favorite cryptocurrency. In fact, it's not just Bitcoin. It's Ethereum, XRP, BNB, Shiba Inu, Doge, and more. So it's a little bit of a partnership here. It's not directly, obviously, through Chase, but you can still pay off your loans here. And again, I just don't like Chase. They're like literally banning crypto purchases in the UK, which is totalitarian. It's authoritarianism right there. Like what? How are we okay with that? How are we okay with the financial institution telling you what you can and can't spend your money on? That's just like, it's ridiculous. But all right, guys, we got a little bit of a clip here coming from RFK. Sit back, enjoy this. This is a pro-candidate, Democrat Party candidate that's running against Joseph Biden. And here's what I'm going to play a little segment from this. I recommend you guys all watch this later today from Bitcoin Magazine. But here we go. Of course, it's got to load. Look at that. My goodness, 1549. I'm going to reload it. All right, 1549. Let's get to 1549. Okay. Well, now my PC wants to break here, guys. It wants to break here. But guys, on YouTube, come over to YouTube, guys, while this loads. We're live on YouTube Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. But doing a whole breakdown with you guys here today. Oh, please tell me this loads. What's up with this? Come on, Bitcoin Magazine. I know you want to. There you go.
That is independent, and that can't be a freedom we need for leisure. And the power that will give nations, this ultimate power over, whether we live or die ultimately.
Right.
And I understood that we need a currency that is a freedom currency, a
right.
currency that is independent and that can't be controlled by the government.
Yeah, agreed. You recently floated, this very novel idea of alongside other hard assets, backing the U.S. dollar and some debt with using Bitcoin. Based on that kind of thread you just said, are you concerned at all about government influence or restrictions with regards to Bitcoin or Bitcoin mining?
Well, I'm very concerned about all the government attacks on Bitcoin.
Right.
But what I would like to do is to at least provide some issuance of treasury bills that is backed by hard currency. Mm-hmm. And that could be a bucket that includes Bitcoin, that includes platinum, gold, silver,
sure.
and other hard assets. And that would not be completely covered, but maybe beginning with 1%.
Right.
And the reason for that, it's really a drop in the bucket of the total T-bills. Yeah. But it would, we can see if there's a market out there, and that it would impose a kind of discipline on this just out of control printing of money, because the consumers would have access to an asset that at least had some basis in hard currency and was therefore at least some immunity from runaway inflation.
Right.
And if there's a preference for that, then we could increase the amount every year, 1% to 2%, 3%, and so on. And get back to at least some level of some option for base currencies.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, how do you see the future of the U.S. dollar kind of developing as we're kind of seeing, you mentioned CBDCs, but we're seeing stable coins and these other kind of dollar derivatives now kind of coming out. We're seeing a rapid globalization of the dollar at a very high velocity. Obviously, I think you can see this Bitcoin future, but how do you see the dollar kind of developing as?
Well, I think the dollar, the future of the dollar is uncertain. I mean, one of the big factors is the sort of exponential growth of BRICS.
Right.
BRICS, which began with
Chat, you can hear, right?
With Brazil and Russia and India and China is now, and South Africa is now adding another 6 countries, and they will, and they're an alternative to the dollar as a reserve currency. They don't have their own currency, but they allow transactions to be settled in local currencies. And that is, that ultimately is a threat to the position of the dollar as the world's reserve currency and to American power, to American wealth. And it's accelerating that. And it's our own doing. It comes from the weaponization of currencies,
right.
The use of...
Interesting.
And also just the military posture of the United States, the unilateral bellicosity of our country, which has made many, many other countries wary of participating with us, of putting themselves within our power. When we freeze assets of people who are Vladimir Putin's friends or Russian oligarchs who may or may not have anything to do with what's happening in Russia, people say, well, why are we putting ourselves in a position where we can do that? Why don't we start our own markets? And that's a very dangerous thing for the U.S. dollar.
Yeah.
Boom. All right. I really recommend you guys check out this whole video. I'll be doing a whole reaction series on that. Thank you, Johnny, or Yanni. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but appreciate you, man, for being here. Thank you for the likes, the subs, and everything, guys. Definitely check out that full interview by Bitcoin Magazine. I really like RFK as a candidate. Unfortunately, due to politics, it's going to be really. We'll see actually this month. I think we'll see this month if he even has a remote chance at taking Biden out of the presidency, because there's a lot more to the game than just voting. The DNC and everybody can do a lot of stuff to manipulate the trajectory on who's going to be within the primaries. And so that's for another video. If you guys want to break down on that, I actually have the founder of Web3 Blockchain Association, the largest Web3 lobbyer in the state of Florida, as well as the man behind the anti-CBDC bill. If you guys would like him on, I actually might have him on this week. Maybe Thursday I'll have him on for you guys and do an explanation on how the outlook is on lobbying and the presidential candidacy coming up and how that can affect markets. But this is huge, guys, right? This is a presidential candidate talking about backing the U.S. currency, the U.S. dollar, by maybe like a drop of a bucket, but like he said, 1% to 2% of Bitcoin. And this is because of the form of sound money. This is because he knows and understands about BRICS, and BRICS is an alternative currency. It's not a reserve. They're allowing the transactions to take place on local currencies on a global scale. But it is, again, a threat, right? It's going to be an alternative to having to utilize and rely on that U.S. dollar. And so he talked about this sovereign wealth. Like, this is going to be a direct threat against that. So how do we support that? Well, it's, if people are pushing towards and moving towards sound money or Bitcoin in this manner, we need to encourage that and accept it and figure out how to make it work for the people. So Bitcoin's freedom, as he mentioned, absolutely love that video. It was great to say. So last up, I'm going to wrap up before I get into Q&A, guys, here is going to be obviously major win for Ripple. They are not a security in terms of the selling, the dumping, like their investors, or not their investors, but the founders dumping their tokens on the open market weren't seen as securities. Me and you purchasing on exchanges wasn't seen as securities. The only thing that was found to be securities was the investment contracts to institutions with, I believe, their partners. So Ripple has had a major victory. XRP is not a security. This is going to be a huge turning point for a lot of projects launching in the future that, definitely probably shouldn't be having ICOs and launching the way they should. This gives us a guiding narrative and a guiding outlook on how to launch and how to strive as a cryptocurrency in these markets for years to come. So shout out to Brad Gallinghouse, David Schwartz. They deserve the utmost of respect for that. But Ripple continues to expand globally. They just had a massive partnership literally like 2 days after this was announced. They have a massive digital asset license from Singapore Monetary Authority. So for those that say Ripple and XRP have no future, you're dumb. I'm sorry, you're dumb. XRP and the XRPL, even though it was built and primarily used by Ripple to utilize cross-border payments and ODL and access that global liquidity, they are still a very successful company. I still expect them to IPO. I still expect them to have strong P2Es and P2Gs and P2Bs and everything. I expect them to be a strong company to launch in the future. And so what does that mean for the XRPL? Well, Ripple incentivizes growth. They incentivize grant programs. They incentivize communities on there. And so with that outlook is like, yes, I see the XRPL still succeeding in some sort of manner. Now, is it going to overtake all the global liquidity? Is it because they have a partnership with the Singapore Monetary Policy or the authorities or, the IDSA or ISO standards? No, that does not mean they're going to overtake SWIFT. That does not mean the SWIFT and the payment rails that are up and existing today are going to just get on their knees and fail and be overturned. Ripple is open source. They've been on the registration management group since 2012 or 2013, maybe 2014. It's been almost a decade. And this entire time, they've been working closely with Bank of Japan, Bank of England, MasterCard, Visa, you name it. They've been showing this narrative for years. And that's why the OCC has been issuing letters and creating patterns that allow maybe the Federal Reserve to take over stablecoins. This is why you have R3 Corda and Quorum, and you have Quorum is through consensus now. JP Morgan sold it, I believe, in 2018. There's going to be private blockchains and private institutions, and they're not all at all going to all use XRP. Got to get that narrative out of your head. There is capitalism. We just watched a video where Robert Kennedy, a candidate for the United States presidency, a Democratic candidate, said that there is competition against the US dollar. Just like there's competition against the US dollar and system with BRICS, XRP has competition with XEC, XLM, and SWIFT, and FedNow, and these other payment policies. So have that perspective, have that outlook, but shout out to Ripple XRP. Absolutely killing it. The derivatives volume has surged by almost 200% in the last 24 hours. And that's it. Ripple's killing it, man. XRP's killing it. Shout out to their community. Twitter users want deceptive Satoshi and Bitcoin accounts to lose check marks. This is funny because Craig Wright's a scammer. So Craig Wright should not be able to have the Satoshi account on Twitter. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys like that type of content, I'm going to be opening this up to Q&A now. Much love to all of you guys for joining me here on YouTube. Again, we're going to be live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, giving you guys the best crypto news, the realest news, and looking beyond the curtains, right? Beyond the headlines. And the whole purpose here is to give you guys a contrarian perspective or outlook on the industry. So chat, if you don't even agree with me, if whether you're on YouTube or TikTok and you just fundamentally disagree with me the most, like you're like, man, this guy is so wrong. It is so important to have these discussions. The best conversations you are ever going to have are with somebody that opposes you with every argument, that disagrees with you on every fundamental ground. And that's what I want to have here. That's what I want to be able to project here. I want to be able to have a safe place for you guys to get a contrarian outlook that isn't all hopium, right? You need that outside perspective. You need that real news, and you need to be driven back to reality. And it's within those arguments, guys, it's within you disagreeing with me or me disagreeing with you is where we're going to find common ground. And that is a fundamental principle that I believe everybody should be able to live by, which is be able to compromise or disagree efficiently. Something I think our politicians in Congress and definitely the House Speaker should get used to or start agreeing upon pretty soon. But all right, guys, let's open this up to Q&A. TikTok, I'll be taking any questions, any projects you guys want me to pull up on CoinMarketCap. Come to the YouTube channel, guys. We got about 7 minutes left up in here for Q&A. But TruthSeek, Johnny, user, much love, guys. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all the likes and comments and everything coming through. So guys, what's up? First crypto, I'm going to pull this up. I'm not going to even look TikTok. I'll be live on TikTok later tonight answering Q&A and doing a debate. But right now we got to focus on YouTube. So much love to the support here, guys. I'm going to pull up the charts here and look at the biggest movers of the day. So Trust Wallet moving about 15% TWT, guys. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't use Trust Wallet too much. Avalanche up 7%. Avalanche got a lot of growth. I'm actually getting a lot more involved with AVAX community just because Dreamer with DeFi Kingdom has like pulled me in, and I've been paying a lot of attention to their game, but they are expanding. But then you got Mina Protocol at 4%, Fractures at 4%, and that's really it on the 24 hours. Biggest movers to the downside, DYDX. You have Gala Games, which of course I'm not a fan of Gala Games. I think everybody knows this. Gala Games is just, they've done too much. They've misallocated in customer funds. They've ruined their gaming sector and community and have done things where they overpromised and underdelivered. And literally, one of my favorite YouTubers that's in Play to Earn Gaming, he invested like tens of thousands of dollars into Gala Games ecosystem, and they turned around and didn't launch the product and the thing that they said they were going to. So this guy lost tens of thousands of dollars because of the leadership and because of the foundation there. So that's very interesting to watch through. Dope shirt. Well, all right, guys. YouTube, if you guys don't got any questions for me, to wrap up the day with here, I'll be live again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. And that is going to be Monday through Friday. And then I'll also be uploading exclusive content to YouTube from here on out. But I'm also going to be posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays on CRU Plus. So if you guys haven't seen Cryptos RS Plus, CRU Plus is going to be George. I am George. He launched a brand new channel where I am the host of a new show. So I am George. We are all George. Well, I am Josh, and I guess I'm part of George now. So, we are all George, baby. But absolutely killing it. Already up to almost 6,000 subscribers. You guys have been loving this content. We're about to hit 3K on the Bitcoin. Will be driven to $657,000. This is the commodities video that I tell you everybody should watch, guys. And then ultimately, Chainlink right here. This is a new one. I did a Chainlink price prediction today. Already almost at 1,000 views. Let me know your guys' predictions in the comments below. But you don't want to miss out on these videos, guys, and that's going to be on CRU Plus. The link's in the description. Where's the list that is located? Oh, so if you're looking for my decentralized science watch list, the link is on my Twitter. It's also on my previous YouTube video. But if you go to my Twitter, brother, Jackson Caprio, it's literally pinned on my Twitter. So if you want this watch list, it's literally right here for you, available publicly. You can just click on it, and then you can literally give it a follow for you. And that's going to have all your decentralized science cryptos. That has SingularityNet. Someone asked me about what are my thoughts on Ajax. I will actually be meeting SingularityNet this week. And so I'll give you guys more inside information and thoughts on their network coming up in the next 2 weeks. But yeah, great watch list, man. Right there on Twitter for you guys. Much better than TikTok Live. Yo, Proper, what's up, baby? How you doing, man? Dude, freaking love you, man. Thank you for all the support lately. You're just the GOAT. Look forward to the new content. Jason, appreciate you. Had the same problem. Didn't see it in bio. Oh, you know why, Johnny? It probably is not in the bio. I think I had an issue before. I don't think it is in the bio. I think I accidentally reset it, but it is on Twitter. I promise it's on Twitter right here, guys. So it's right there for you guys, and it won't be missed. That is my problem. Yikes. So I also realized, guys, my first video, my first live stream, it wasn't supposed to have that music. It was playing massive music in the background in the beginning, and I was like, oh dear, because that's like copyrighted. So that video might get taken down. So, but now we're good. We're good today. So, what else we got coming from YouTube, guys? I'm gonna answer a couple from chat right here. Bro, plant wall's lit. Dude, Chance, much love, man. That took me way too long to get done. Any news on Quant Dilemma? Quant Dilemma is Quant Dilemma. I haven't seen this yet. Specifically, what with Quant? Let me see. This is not a YOLO play by a member of Wall Street Bets. It's a trade made by a sitting member of U.S. Congress. Oh, that's Tommy. Oh, of course. Inside trading. Chat, what's up with Quant? Tell me. Some issues I read and I heard, I haven't confirmed. Just sold all my Quant. Was once worth... Oh my God, jeez. Oh, here we go. I logged into Twitter today because I've been seeing the FUD around QNC and wanted to do a bit of digging. The FUD seems around 3 things. Team selling, which is nothing new. Okay. Pivot to consulting and code auditing. That's interesting. And employees leaving. I want to write my thoughts. Team selling. They've been doing this forever. I'm pretty sure this subsidizes the company. We know that. We're in a down market for sure. And for software as a service in general, my SaaS company sales are half of what they used to be a couple years ago. So, of course, VCs are not investing into many companies, let alone crypto companies. Okay. Pivot to consulting and code and auditing. This is a misrepresentation. Over the last few years, in order to write smart contracts while working on large-scale infrastructure products like LackChain and Project Rosalind, we're developing a suite of testing tools and bolster the specialist knowledge required to smart audit contracts to the highest standards. Okay. Provides insurance for companies that are trying... Nope. Employees leaving. This one I don't have much positive things to say. It is never a good sign when employees leave. However, Quant Network is known for hiring employees on contracts as opposed to a full-time salary. So, rumor. Dr. Luke Riley is still at Quant Network. Mart Hargreaves and Peter Marisans are still leading the product and technology teams. Okay. All Deep Council, deep dive, stellar fundamental analysis. Well, we know Quant has no utility, guys. It's just literally a wrap token for their software as a service, and we do know that. Fear Soul. This is nothing new. Fear sold near the bottom. Classic retail utility token overview. Enterprise licenses, developer site licenses. So I've seen this a million times. This is their software as a service. It's guys 99 chat. By the way, chat. 99.999% of tokens do not need a token. They don't. Like almost anything. Anything that has VC money in it doesn't need a token. It doesn't. Like I don't know why people think this. Like, you know, for us to adapt, I am a fan of Quant. I'm a fan of Quant because I understand this, guys. This is Joshua Jake's outlook on crypto, and it's very contrarian. It pisses off a lot of people, and I love it because it's the truth, and the truth hurts sometimes. The truth is, guys, is that I look at Bitcoin as a commodity. Okay, Bitcoin is an actual commodity. Let me go to the coin market cap list right here for you guys. So Bitcoin is a commodity. Everything else in this industry for smart contract protocols and becoming the new decentralized internet, they are all software as services. There isn't one that is truly decentralized. There isn't one that doesn't have inside trading or venture capitalists or early investors or angel investors or seed investors or whatever it is, which means that there's Bitcoin and then there's Silicon Valley 2.0. And if you understand this perspective, the reason why 99% of these projects pump isn't because they got good utility. Why has there never been a utility bull run? Because utility doesn't exist. Like, let me make that make more sense. And if you want to say it's because of the marketing, why is Solana pumping? Right? Solana's ecosystem, and I'm not trashing on Sol. Like, I mean, I am going to trash on Solana right here. I believe Solana is going to pump because of the community. The technology behind Solana is trash. It's abysmal. They've had so many hacks, so many failures, so many issues, so much price manipulation, so much insider trading, so much times rewards. They've been down once a week. Like, there's been so many hacks and issues on that network. Why is that surviving? Why does that exist here? It's because of the community. It's because no matter what, there's still VCs investing money into it and raising marketing and building JPEGs, mid-tier projects, and just pumping these token prices up. But they don't really need a token. If they, like, if a foundation was so confident in the public good of the service that they built, why do they need to have 50-60% of the supply? At that point, an investor purchasing that asset, I agree with Gary Gensler. If a project or a token has 70 to 80% and even upwards of 30-40% of the total supply of tokens, that tells me one thing, that they're bootstrapped and great, maybe launch a DAO, maybe get decentralized funding. But the moment they go to like a VC capital, the moment they go to an angel investor, and the moment they give up 5, 15, 20% of the tokens from that ecosystem to VCs, it's no longer a public good. It turns directly into a product. And the only goal of that product is for the VC to pump that product. Because if they don't pump that product up with false marketing, they're not going to make money off their investment. It's Silicon Valley 2.0. This is why Sam Altman, the creator of ChatGPT, launched WorldCoin. WorldCoin shit. It is so shit, right? They have 1% of the tokens in circulation. He was like, hey, he had some friends come to him and like, yo, dude, you're really popular right now. You're like the man of the room. Everybody's talking about you. You just created the next generation of products. You should launch a crypto token. Like, open your eyes, right? So Quant, these products, like, I'm not talking down on them like they're not going to move. I understand that it's a software as a service. I understand that Gilbert Verdian and their team have done insane business development. Gilbert Verdian developed TC307 at Quant Network, which is an international standardized organization, has helped build with Latin America and now even the European Union. Like, the connections in marketing there for that software, I think there's a lot of upside to that. And because of that, there's a massive community around it. You guys have seen Crypto Mason and the Quant community. They're massive. There's a very limited supply of tokens. So it really doesn't take much to move that and create something known as pumponomics. And so that's where I think about this. That's how I perceive the industry. Crypto is no better than the traditional fractional banking system. I'm sorry, it's not. You have Bitcoin, which has its own centralization issues that need to be addressed over time with mempools and mempool jockeying and control and asset management, whatever it is. But the rest of the industry, look at Ethereum. Ethereum's origin, guys, come from the CCP. Like, it was funded by early venture capitalists, and it doesn't matter that it was funded necessarily by the CCP, but it should give you a narrative, right? The connections with MIT and Prometheum and Gary Gensler in 2018, the connections with Bill Hinman, the previous chairman, and the Ethereum Foundation before, again, 2018. It's a very common narrative, and I truly believe that decentralization and this whole goal that utility tokens, like, I mean, call it cringe, I guess. I'd say I woken up to the fact I fell for that shit the first year in crypto. The first year in crypto, I was a new influencer. I was making hundreds. I made well over 6 figures out of nowhere by just throwing money at random cryptos, right? Metaverse projects, FitFi, XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, Polygon Matic. I made all this money, and I came and I was like, wow, I must be knowledgeable. No, it comes to find out, I get 80,000 followers. All of a sudden, I'm getting into all these really cool influencer groups, and I realize all these influencers are dipshits, dude. Not like there's very few people on this platform that I respect. Altcoin Daily, I love. Cryptos R Us, I love. There's some good people in this industry, but 99% of these people, 99% of these influencers in this industries are literally just they're a pawn. They're a tool. They're entertainment. And who funds them? The same VCs and projects that are pumping and dumping their tokens, right? So that is my rant here. Is Bitcoin's a commodity, right? This is where Jack Dorsey comes in. He couldn't have said this any better. Check this out. This is someone who was part of the establishment, mind you. Jack Dorsey was part of the establishment with Twitter. He sold himself out to the feds. Web3 VCs. Watch this. Yeah. He's been saying this for years. So, and if you guys don't believe me on this, and you guys, oh, Josh is crazy. Josh is back at it again. Look up what Web 5 is. Web 5 Bitcoin, okay? It's not a new industry, like, right? I'm not saying Web 5 is a new industry. I think Web 5 is just what Web 3 was meant to be, but Web 3 just turned into a massive VC cash grab. That's what took place here. Look into what TBD is building. This is Web 5. This is open source. It's been out for 2 years. Almost anything you can think of building in Web 3 with applications can be done on this without a token. And if you want to use a cross-border system and you want to use sound money and you want to use, you want to have transactions and tokens, okay, maybe have a stable coin. Go launch that however you want, but use Bitcoin. Use Bitcoin through Lightning Network. People that think Bitcoin is slow, outdated, old technology, bad for the environment, they are so they lack a massive amount of education. And I'm not trashing on that. It's not their fault. It's nobody's fault, because the influencers in the space for the last 3 years have been telling everybody Bitcoin is trash. And it's Bitcoin to this day, guys, is the most misunderstood crypto in the entire market, because every other altcoin in the market classifies himself as a better version, or spreads and markets misinformation and greater fool's theory to get you away from that liquidity and drag that liquidity to their VC. That's how that industry works. So I'm going to stop there because I'm ranting hard and it's been like 10 minutes. I hope you guys, if you guys don't agree with me, is what it is. That's what I'm here to do. I have a contrarian outlook, but I truly believe that, and I can prove that in almost any single way, shape, or form in this industry. There is no such thing as true decentralization in this world, and that's why I love decentralized science. That's why this is up on the screen right now, because decentralized science, for the first time, when I go to a convention and I sit in a room, it's like actual scientists, people with full-on doctorates and PhDs and Nobel Prizes that are sitting down collectively and saying, hey, this system is broken. This globalist system is broken. I, as a scientist, can't get funding for a scientific discovery because it doesn't meet the guidelines and requirements of the almighty master Pfizer, right? I can't talk to a scientist in China because the US and China have bad relations, or Russia and China have bad relations. Even though if I talk to that scientist in China, I might have a cure for cancer, right? Because it's centralized. They want to control. They have the IP rights. So sitting down with a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, with some of the world's best leaders from Harvard, from Dubai, from UCLA, from Berkeley Laboratories, wherever it is fucking beautiful. And so there is a lot of value to the crypto in this industry. There's a lot of utility to that aspect, but wake up to the fact that you cannot have decentralization in a capitalistic society. With capitalism comes more money, more power, and more control. And when you have an open free market, which is the entire purpose and access point and the libertarian perspective and ideology of the system, Genosis was founded in 2015. So, okay, I know nothing about this. I've never, TikTok, head over to YouTube. Gene, I'm gonna do something for you, or Jean de la Jeans. Let's do this. Let me write it down. I'm gonna write Genosis here. Genosis. I'm gonna make videos on here. That's gonna be a great thing I do with YouTube. I'm gonna break down, like, in each video, I'll do maybe I'll do a breakdown on Genosis. So my thoughts on Genosis. They're not gonna be sponsored, right? They're not gonna be sponsored. They're gonna be just me giving you my full, honest opinion and breakdown of tokenomics, team development, incentivization. And I'll do full video breakdowns on that because I know that's really hard to find on YouTube. So if you want something like that, let me know. I could do a whole Genosis breakdown. Ripple has a simple plan, solving cross-border payments and not expecting to do everything with it. Yeah, that's true. That doesn't mean it's going to go to $1,000. Cool. All right, YouTube, much love, guys. We're coming up on the hour mark. I was supposed to be here for 45 minutes. So appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, guys. Turn on those post notifications. We'll be live here Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And I'm looking forward to this, guys. I think there's going to be some amazing content. It allows me to rant. It allows you guys to have that perspective. And it allows me to break down these conversations with you guys. So much love, guys. And Nextra, I like Versilla's, but they had that huge hack. And I got to re-advise and re-look at, or I got to reassess my thoughts on it. So I haven't checked out anything with Nextra since the whole scandal and the whole issue that they had with the hack. So guys, much love. Talk to you guys here very, very soon. And guys, remember,